Brooke finally discovers the shocking secret. The bold and the beautiful, spoilers. Brooke Logan had always believed that the hardest truths announce themselves with thunder, shattered glass, raised voices, a door slammed so hard the walls shook. But as she stood alone in the quiet living room at the Forrester mansion, watching the late afternoon sun stretch across the polished floor, she realized the most devastating secrets arrived softly. They waited. They breathed. They learned your rhythms. And then, when you least expected it, they leaned close and whispered. She pressed her fingers to her temple, trying to shake the strange sense of dread that had followed her all day. Ridge had been distant again, gentle, loving, but distant in that particular way Brooke knew too well. The way he got when he was protecting someone. Or something. Not again, she murmured to herself. Brooke Logan had survived decades of betrayal, heartbreak, and impossible choices. She had forgiven affairs, secrets, children conceived in lies, and marriages built on half-truths. She told herself she was stronger now. Wiser. Less willing to ignore the warning signs. And yet, here she was again, feeling that unmistakable pull in her gut telling her that her life was about to change forever. It started with a phone call Ridge had ended too quickly. Brooke hadn't meant to eavesdrop, she never did, but when she heard her own name spoken in a hushed, urgent tone, she froze. No, Ridge had said quietly. She can't know. Not yet. Not yet. Those words echoed in her mind hours later as she replayed the memory over and over. Ridge was many things, passionate, stubborn, complicated. But he was never cruel. If he was keeping something from her, it wasn't because he wanted to hurt her. It was because he believed the truth would. Brooke's gaze drifted to the framed family photos on the mantel. Decades of love stared back at her. Ridge, Hope, RJ, even old memories of Eric and Stephanie, ghosts of a past that still shaped their present. Secrets had always been woven into the fabric of the Forrester and Logan families. But this felt different. This felt dangerous. Later that evening, Brooke found herself at Forrester Creations under the pretense of dropping off documents. She didn't announce herself as she walked down the hallway toward Ridge's office. His door was ajar, voices spilling out into the corridor. It's already done, Carter said firmly. Legally, there's no going back. And Brooke? Ridge asked. A pause. She's the one person who can't find out, Carter replied. Not unless you're ready for everything to blow up. Brooke's heart slammed against her ribs. Find out what? She whispered, stepping into the doorway. The room went silent. Ridge turned slowly, his face draining of color. Carter's eyes widened, guilt written plainly across his features. In that moment, Brooke knew, whatever they were hiding, it was bigger than an affair, bigger than a business deal gone wrong. It was something that would shatter the foundation of her life. Brooke, Ridge began. No, she said sharply, holding up a hand. Don't. Not another word until you tell me the truth. All of it. Ridge exchanged a look with Carter, one that said this was inevitable. He closed the door gently, as if softening the blow. There's something you need to know, Ridge said. Something we should have told you a long time ago. Brooke sat as Ridge spoke, her body perfectly still, her heart racing. Each word felt unreal, like dialogue from someone else's nightmare. Years ago, before their latest reunion, before promises of honesty and fresh starts, Ridge had made a decision. One fueled by guilt, fear, and an old loyalty he had never truly let go of. A decision involving Taylor. And a child. No, Brooke whispered, shaking her head. No, that's not possible. It is, Ridge said softly. And the worst part? I didn't know at first. None of us did. The room felt like it was closing in around her. Brooke's breath came in short, sharp gasps as the pieces began to form a picture she didn't want to see. You're telling me, she said slowly, that there is a child out there who believes you are their father, and you just found out. Ridge swallowed hard. I've known for months. Months. Brooke stood abruptly, the chair scraping loudly against the floor. You knew, she said, her voice trembling. And you looked me in the eye every day. You told me you wanted a future. You told me there were no more secrets. I was trying to protect you, Ridge insisted. No, Brooke snapped, tears spilling freely now. You were protecting yourself. But Ridge wasn't finished. There's more, he said quietly. Brooke laughed bitterly. Of course there is. The child, now a teenager, had already been quietly brought into the Forrester fold. Legal paperwork had been signed. Trust funds established. A future secured. And Brooke? Brooke Logan, Ridge's wife, the woman who had stood by him through everything, had been deliberately excluded. I signed documents. Brooke asked, her voice hollow. I attended board meetings. I sat in that office with you while you were planning a life that didn't include me. Ridge reached for her, but she stepped back. You don't get to touch me, she said. Not right now. Carter cleared his throat. Brooke, I tried to convince Ridge to tell you. Then you failed, she replied coldly. She turned toward the door, her legs shaking beneath her. Every instinct screamed at her to run, to get away before the pain swallowed her whole. But she stopped. There's something you haven't said, Brooke said, her back still to them. Why now? Why does this suddenly matter? Ridge hesitated too long. Brooke turned, eyes blazing. Why does this secret matter now, Ridge? Because, Ridge said quietly, the child wants to meet you. Silence. Brooke felt the world tilt beneath her feet. Me? She whispered. They know who you are, Ridge continued. They know what you mean to this family. And they don't blame you. They just want the truth. The truth. That word again. Brooke sank back into the chair, suddenly exhausted. All these years, she said softly, I thought I'd seen every version of betrayal. Every kind of heartbreak. But this. She looked up at Ridge, tears streaming down her face. This changes everything. The revelation didn't stay contained for long. It never did in Los Angeles. Word spread quickly through the Forrester and Logan families, each reaction adding another layer of chaos. Hope was stunned. Furious on her mother's behalf. How could he do this to you? She demanded, holding Brooke's hands tightly. After everything. Eric was conflicted, torn between loyalty to his son and respect for Brooke. She deserved to know, he said firmly. From the beginning. Even Taylor, when confronted, couldn't deny her role. I didn't mean for it to happen this way, she told Brooke, tears in her eyes. I thought I was protecting everyone. Brooke laughed humorlessly. That seems to be the excuse of the year. But beneath the anger, beneath the betrayal, something unexpected stirred within Brooke, clarity. For the first time in a long time, she wasn't asking herself what Ridge needed, or what the family expected, or how to keep the peace. She was asking what she deserved. Alone at home later that night, Brooke poured herself a glass of water. No champagne, no coping mechanism, just clarity. She walked to the mirror and studied her reflection. She saw the woman who had loved fiercely, forgiven endlessly, sacrificed herself in the name of family and romance. And she realized something profound. This secret hadn't broken her. It had freed her. I choose myself, she said aloud. Whether Ridge fought for her or not, whether this family healed or fractured, Brooke Logan would no longer accept half-truths dressed up as protection. She deserved honesty. She deserved respect. And for the first time in years, she was ready to walk away if she didn't get it. Brooke will demand a face-to-face meeting with the child, setting the stage for an emotional and unexpected bond. Ridge will be forced to choose between repairing his marriage and maintaining control over the secret-filled world he created. Taylor's role in hiding the truth will reignite old rivalries and shift alliances in shocking ways. And Brooke? Brooke will begin a powerful new chapter, one where she finally stops being defined by Ridge Forrester. Because this time, the secret didn't just change her marriage.